the Sun Cipher, and this is Block Live. I got my man in the green room right now, chilling out. Black KC in the flesh, Black Crypto Inc. We're gonna get into a bunch of stuff, definitely in that crypto talk. But before I do that, I just thought I would prime the pumps and give you a little bit of taste of what y'all been missing if you hadn't hit my man yet. He is, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, the premier crypto rhyme specialist on the blockchain right now. But we're gonna get into this joint, and then we're gonna talk to Black Crypto. Let's go.
Base, 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 base god on the blockchain, on the blockchain, on the blockchain.
The only thing that I want to hear right about now, say that bitch, say that bitch, say bitch, say that. The only thing that I want to hear right about now, say that bitch, bitch, say bitch, say that.
Lad, I'm ready for post chain. We want that insaneness. I'm ready for mainnet, even though Hex my main chick. Don't need no explaining, don't want to hear the same shit. All I want is mainnet, so I can make it rain, bitch. Tell me, do you copy that? Why you at it? Copy that. ERC double up. They gon' call me copycat. Richard Hart the cocky cat that told you where the top was at. Okay, thanks for that. Now can you tell me where my copy's at?
The only thing that I want to hear right about now, say that bitch, say that bitch, say bitch, say that. The only thing that I want to hear right about now, say that bitch, say that bitch, say bitch.
Yo, yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
We are back.
How you getting
I got my
started? How you
man
getting
Black.
started?
Yeah, yo, that was mainnet. If y'all didn't know, that my man got some heat. I'm telling you. But we gonna get into that.
Shouts out to Naga
Shouts out
Bo on the hook. On the hook.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to the OG Nagabo, yo. Nagabo is becoming quite popular on this on the music scene in the Hex community because he got them one liners like a motherfucker. Shout out to the OG Nagabo, and welcome to Block Live, bro. Thanks for falling in with me. I've been, like I told you, behind the scenes. We've been communicating a little bit. I've been following you since I came across your joint stuff. You and wifey and holding it down for the community and y'all on y'all black shit. So, we're gonna get into that. But before we go any further, introduce yourself to the peoples, man. Let them know who you are and how you represent.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to tap in. I be keeping my eye on you. Yeah, man, I just wanted to tap in. I be keeping my eye on you. See you live. I've been doing the last couple months. I've been doing this the last couple months, and it's not easy. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. So, yeah, man, anytime. Anytime.
Yeah, that's what's. I like to do what I call with all of my, hexagon, all of my, anybody that bring on that's in the crypto community or whatever. I like to know like where you came from, how you got into the game, and what sparked you to get to where you are right now, which is a hexagon and doing everything in the community and all of that. So let's take it back to the beginning. Make sure your mic is right. You got the mic in front of you so we can hear you. And give the people your origin story, man. How'd you get into the game? What stimulated you to make that first move? I want to know everything. Go ahead.
2014. I want to say when I really want to say when I really was heavy in the poker. That's when the online, the online and ESPN. A lot of the sites don't. Poker was to actually get on. That was my first. That was my first experience. I say investor. And crypto. I kind of thought of it as this black market. We thought it was the world, the drug kind of the dark kind of So the dark was putting a whole lot of money. So I was putting a whole lot of money into it. Not a big investor until 2015 when this happened to have and I saw a little turn into a lot. You know, I know probably had the same experience. So, how's my audio? Am I straight? Am I straight?
It sounded a little bit muffled, so I don't know if you might need to get that mic closer. Or I think it's like that your vicinity.
The mic.
Say something.
Yeah, testing. How I'm going now?
Yeah, no, you good. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't know if I can. See that. I won a couple projects in poker. So I had Bitcoin on my wallet. I just had a little that turned into commas. So I just started paying attention. So when the COVID actually, I remember, I didn't ride the all the way down. Like two of my tools turned into a grand. So I cashed out. When I got into Forex, that's when I remember. Bitcoin is having some kind of real value, and everyone gets excited. It's like, okay, let me see what's going on in this space. So with COVID, I was looking for ways to make money like everybody else, take my job down. I was not out of work, but still need no source of income. So I started trying to trade, like everybody else. It's always a losing game. Everybody had the same plan. They're all learning the same things. Honestly, I just was looking for what else could I do. I turned to music. My original goal was to try to turn this music that I could turn to. That's what really drew me to NFT. So I came to crypto more. Developer, trying to get my own, how to develop my own crypto, and learning from different developers like Ivan on Tech. Those are the kind of people who even would luckily me having a different path to speak is how I was on it. Because if I was on the same crypto route or something like that, I probably wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, that's real talk. I'm just kind of like, it's funny you mentioned Big Boy Crypto because not to interrupt you, but I think that's really relevant how you broke that down, how you were just doing your online gambling, and you was making a nice little extra side piece off of that, and you kind of remembered about this Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying, which is kind of similar to how I was as well. I wasn't doing anything online like with the block at all. But I knew, I was around back in the day when Max Kaiser was like all over Alex Jones and shit, when Bitcoin was like 10 cents, and he was begging anybody who would listen, like, yo, go get this shit now. This is going to be the money of the future. This is decentralized peer-to-peer, so that always stuck in my head because I thought like that was fucking revolutionary as hell. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, like I was in a new country, I just met my now wife, and we were building our shit over here, so she was going to university over here from India, and we met, and then I came over here, right? So it was all a lot going on. I didn't really have the focus to just get on that Bitcoin shit, but I never forgot about it. And then when Ethereum came out, I even got a fucking wallet, bro. I even got a wallet and everything. I never did anything. So but when I did come in, I actually found BitBoy. Once I realized there's a whole world out there that was like influencers and shit like that, BitBoy was one of the first that I found, you know what I'm saying? And as you just stated, no disrespect to Big Boy because he's seen the light, you know what I'm saying? He had his come to Jesus moment, you know what I'm saying? So he's in line right now. He know what's up, but he wasn't talking about Hex back then. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about a bunch of shit that as a Hexican now that we don't even take as far as like the type of projects that we deal with. But go ahead,
And I'm glad you mentioned that because part of the reason that tweets are Hex, everybody kind of was doing the same thing, following the same influencers, and nobody would, show Hex the love. Nobody would even. They would call it a scam, but nobody would really, give it a why or any real reason why Richard Hart was on his state.
So that's one thing.
That's one thing that made me feel like I had,
and then it felt like this.
and then it felt like this underground.
Everybody wasn't tapped in.
Everybody
Telegram was active.
Telegram was active.
You know, it felt like it was different. You know, you had to
felt like
actually
it was different. You know, you had to
X.com
and do stuff.
You had to actually use it.
You had to actually use it.
So it just felt like it was
It
different.
just felt like it was different than the rest.
Yeah, definitely. So was it Ivan on Tech who hit you on the Hex? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
He
was making
He was talking about the tax
add on
it
with a
with a
38.7
38.7
APY
APY or whatever.
You know, he was making a
point to how
there are scams in crypto.
You know,
People are
advertising them. So he was light on Hex, but or paying it so to speak.
But he did actually
have Richard Hart over Green. They actually gave him a chance to
platform
and talk about what it was. So
that interview
made me go through all the Richard Hart's old,
and I said,
okay, this is
trying to hide him.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because again, like I'm kind of, I've never really done this before while I'm asking, everybody else their crypto origin story, but like you just keep hitting these notes that are very similar to what I observed, when I came into the game. So I got into the game in May. By September, but I didn't realize at this time that there was this whole YouTube influencer community. And I didn't even have nobody to talk to this shit about, really. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, I went to CoinMarketCap and I got like notepads and notepads and notepads over here now that, I should make into an NFT one day and shit. All my fucking research. I started from the first, at that time, I think there were only about 4,000 cryptos that were being listed on CoinMarketCap. I researched every fucking one of them. Every one of them. Started from number one and worked my way down, and whatever was interesting to me, I had little keys that I was using, just random keys that I was using. To ones I would prioritize to do more research in, but I finally came across Hex, and it was number like 201 or some shit like that on CoinMarketCap. And the only reason why I looked at Hex more because I looked at 1 billion or something like that, 0.1 billion. Then I went back up and looked at it should be, and I'm like, that's odd. So I went and researched Hex and shit, and I fell in love with the code. Again, like I didn't know anything, even though, this dude's, face was all over the fucking website and shit like that. I wasn't really paying any attention to that. So I didn't even know, even when I was researching Hex, I wasn't even aware of Richard Hart. In fact, like somebody could have told me, like, I'll give you, tell me who the fucking found like that $1 million, because I was only concerned as I began to write paper and this and that and look into all the dynamics and understand that this is like a flawless fucking code from my perspective. That's when I find, the whole Discord syndicate and, guys like, what's his name? What's my man's name?
Hexo.
Well, Hexo, but like more so, it was RG3, Kinetics, and what's your boy? Miguel. What's his name?
Okay.
Dollar cost crypto.
Yeah, dollar cost crypto. You know what I'm saying? Dollar cost crypto, Kinetics, and RG3 were like the first people that I actually heard speak about Hex. You know what I'm saying? And I just found dollar because I'm like into the analytics and all the like the geeky shit or whatever. So I kind of gravitated to dollar cost crypto, as far as initially or whatever, because he was more analytical with his dialogue and shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, holy shit, the amount of fucking, how could you say, heartache that I was spared because I found the Hex community when I did. You cannot put a fucking dollar amount on that shit. I'm telling you, it's in fucking valuable.
And
You
it's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
And it's crazy because I think we got the same kind of COVID, getting into crypto, not being scarred by 2017, and
all those
all those ICOs
open
and everything.
willing to do that research.
I think that's what really saved you is
Not
going off of
word,
word
on
your own.
look at it is. But I just think so many people
just
didn't know.
My wife
first thing
that might be the one.
And I was
showing her, but it was just the logo.
She didn't know nothing about crypto. She liked the name.
She liked the logo.
It was like
it,
I had a small bag of
Hex. When I first
I
didn't even know you could take it.
I just
It
was a coin.
It's that extra digging deep finding those gems.
Yeah, yes, that's what it is, yo. I bought that shit and staked my first round immediately, and then even when I did the first set of stakes, I wasn't really clear on what T-shares were, but I knew enough about. Honestly, when I did my first series of stakes, it was all about like the motherfucking APY. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on a second, they're gonna give me fucking 20% every year that I keep this shit in here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing that really was like, I was focused on in the beginning. But
I ain't gonna cap.
The thing that got me is the big payday.
Those numbers.
When he was,
it was close to almost a
4x.
Way before big payday.
Way before big
They
payday.
really gonna give me this.
They really gonna give me this much money. So
That's the
carrot that kind of kept me paying attention.
Yeah, man.
And shouts out to
And shouts out to RG3. I mean, Hexo is the one influencer that I watched. He was on every day. I was interesting. So shouts out to Hexologist for always being on.
RG3
is the one who really hammered all
shares.
He shares. He was saying,
Yeah,
you gonna
exactly.
you're gonna get Hex, but
the big deal
is all this shit.
Yeah.
And
I'm
glad
I had everything coming out right after Big Payday. That was kind of my mindset.
Definitely.
I instaked it. Be the ladder.
Yeah, I concur with that. Shout out to the original pirate RG3, yo. The same as far as T-shares. Because of RG3, when I realized I needed to go back and look at this T-share situation again. And that's when I made my next series of stakes. From then, like I had that in mind and shit. You know what I'm saying, with the T-shirts for sure. So, boom. So you get like the plug from Ivan on Tech because he was making fun of Hex. Wifey, with her, infinite like intuition was like, yo, this is the one and shit. Boom. So let's get into this Hex experience now. Now you realize the whole staking, you realize the whole T-share. Tell me from that point, how you view crypto in general and how you began to view Hex in the community and how you started to interface with that.
So
I was the first one in my family to ever really.
So
this whole COVID period, I had been trying to
get into those and
stock market those, and
I had maybe
30 or 40 coins in my wallet.
After I really,
figured out what Hex was, all those coins started turning into Hex.
As we
led up to Big Payday,
I was trying to
get those guys, get involved and learn about it.
And the only thing
that helped was music, and
those guys
get those guys excited about, overall crypto music, kind of like money music, kind of flow. But
I just went all
in on Hex.
And my wife's,
we saw it as an opportunity to get more of us within the.
Because she
understood that it's dirty. Nobody wants to look it down and learn video.
It's hard
to risk
when you're talking about hard money.
Real cash.
But so we on my Hex shit, I made a little short visual.
On my Hex shit, I just did something like audio behind it. She actually redid it and made that video. So
he kind of jumped it off.
We put that one out.
The next week,
other songs. We're trying to have it, trying to get one out every week.
So we did that for a while.
And it kind of we just try to keep it up long as we good.
Into the price.
I think we caused the top $4. And kind of calm down after that.
Yeah, definitely. So now you're in the community, like you feel so strongly about this product that you writing verses, you know what I'm saying, and like creating visuals like to really like up the ante and shit like that or whatever. But then you took it a little bit further. You and wifey both took it a little bit further. And this is when I was like, holy shit. Like I'm loving to see this. You know what I'm saying? Especially, coming from my disposition, whatever. And how engaged that you guys were like then and are even more so now with the community. That shit was beautiful to see, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was really beautiful to see.
God is crazy.
It wasn't by choice.
It was divine.
It was divine. The tour started
right when
I was making that.
I first started making those songs. We
wanted to just
the word out
to the community what I was doing, and I thought the first stop was to meet more executives,
some people
of in faith, in person, and
my wife,
we go meet X-Lion,
and
Avid, and they're just starting the tour.
She's seeing
that these are prominent figures in the community. So she was trying to get with those guys.
Music video,
make
all the
real hits
in the
video.
So that was
kind of her goal. It's to just do a collaboration with the music video.
But her natural,
and our joke, we moved in years. So
we were the
administration. Naturally, her administrative process kind of took over. You saw the help that they needed.
All right,
and
putting hands on
with the tournament, and they didn't want to stop.
We just
became part of that whole where we could.
I stayed.
We do have a family,
a 16-year-old
daughter,
11-year-old
son, and an 9-year-old daughter.
So we didn't want
to shake their lives.
I guess
stay home.
I was still working. At the end of the year. She was
on tapped in when we could.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a pause real quick. Shout out to David Gomez. He's in the comment section right now. He's tuning in. We're still getting feedback on God. Take a pause. I got another one of your joints queued up anyway. So we're gonna take a pause real quick. We're gonna play another one of these hot joints from Black Crypto. This joint is another one of my. I'm basically just playing you my favorites right now. So we're gonna get your favorite in a minute and shit. But right now we're gonna play this Lasagna Flow joint. And we're gonna do all the social stuff in a minute. But if you haven't checked it out, definitely go check out Black Crypto all across the social streams. Lasagna Flow. Check it.
Still trying to find a new grind that'll lift my back up. Trying to take my time, I need something before my time's up. They can shut it down if they want, you need a reminder. Use your 2020, that year still right behind us. Still get a frog in my throat when the law's behind us. Should be reason enough to stop rolling a ganja. Really wish I could, but it's too good for my insomnia. Pray to God, got them layers like an onion. Complicated, got a lot of layers like lasagna. Let them take sauce, they wanna come and take it from you. That's why when they ask me what I'm on, I tell them none, yeah. I'm from a place that's way harder than Tanya, so I had to switch it like a blade, no sun, yeah. Show the world a flow cold and sicker than pneumonia. Anytime they see a green grow, they wanna clone ya. Lone Star nigga, no wonder I've been a loner. In my own world, I be feeling like a foreigner. Met a millionaire and told him, man, we need some more of us. Tried to tell whoever would listen, they kept ignoring us. Now we touch and roll cross country just like a tour bus. Try to keep it real, they say I ain't true enough. I talk in crowded rooms like I do when it's the two of us. Ones that do the least Always tell you don't do enough. They get they just do, and I'm just like what they got to do with us.
Yeah. We are back live and direct, Block Live. I am your humble host, Sun Cypher. And we got the guy, Black Crypto. With that lasagna flow. Go check it. You know how we do. Yeah, man. So, that might sound much better, by the way. Shout out David Gomez for helping us get that cleared up real quick, because the people them need to hear this for sure. But I know you mentioned the tour a couple of times. I know you and I know what the fuck you're talking about, but those who may not be in the community, can you just kind of encapsulate when you're talking about the tour, what exactly is that, who's involved, and where all y'all went, and how many places you went to?
Oh man, yeah. So the
Crypto Starbucks team.
I'm gonna have to take that off. Yeah, they went to.
They started in.
That was the first stop. We met them there. I'm from San Diego.
That's maybe a 5-hour drive.
So we
the first stop in Vegas. Then the second stop was San Diego.
Who's in Starbucks?
San Diego,
our home city,
LA, and then welcome up to LA, West Coast, LA up to
Portland,
and they just went around the whole country, 44 cities,
until they came back to Las Vegas again. New York,
they went all the way through New York, Miami, to the south, to Texas, and
all the way back to Vegas.
And who's the crypto Starbucks team? And
so Abit, you may see him on Instagram. He's one of the more
he's always vocal, especially
Jordy Hex, Jori.
Girlfriend is Jordy Hex,
Jori.
Hex Lion. They're really big Sparkle, the German community.
They wanted
an American kind of counterpart, their audience at the KSB.E brand.
And my wife
CEO of that.
True. So these boys are not even from America. In case you guys didn't get that, they came over and did a 40+ city tour, holding it down. All about Hex, all about Postchain, all about the Richard Heart ecosystem. And did you guys do any analytics with regards to how many people you would have onboarded through the course of those 41+ states or cities?
Man,
it's
I had no clue, but that's how those guys that whole came out of their they took hit on those cars, Audi and it was 2 Audis, the R8 and the 7. So almost $500,000 in cars. Their own money. They went around the country, held those workshops at all those venues, booking venues. Extra meetups and other holding extra meetups and other meetup events. Covering the bill from up there. So we started
the first
100 maybe
50 to 100 maybe.
Not even
maybe 20 people
at the first
5 different stops and it just grew.
By the time they made it around
to Texas, and hundreds of people at those events.
Yeah, that's lovely, man. That's real power, because that was right in the midst of the whole post-chain frenzy, and then on the back of that you had post-X as well. So I would have loved to been a part of that, just that, if I was back home in ATL, come through and break bread and just kind of feel that energy, and just I'm saying, and we're gonna get into this in a minute as well, but there's crypto and then there's DeFi, right? Crypto.
Yeah.
If you ain't dealing with DeFi with regards to crypto, then you're not truly dealing with crypto. And so what I really love about the work that you guys did is that you went around the fucking nation breaking bread with people that will be custodians of this DeFi ecosystem and shit. If they got into Hex, then they're DeFi. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna find like the greater DeFi community, and then begin to like extend the web and break bread. Like this, how people will take the idea from KSB and they're gonna take it to the next level. Like we're already seeing.
And that's what's big with what they did is sorry to cut you off with
No, you good.
I was trying to make that point earlier. The name of the tour was Be Your Own Bank. They were advertising, teaching their own keys, take control of their own keys. It was Be Your Own Bank. So really educating, and that was the whole base about what was, the revolution that Hex is. Literally, you get to make your own salary. You can set the date. So it's next to a million tour. They're going to be giving away a lot of crypto, onboarding people and giving away wallets. Not giving away, but setting up these wallets, making sure people are getting into crypto, and even the money that they spend with Staker. I know he spent a lot of money giving away a lot of free wallets. That's super too. Just getting people hands on. That's huge.
Yeah, and this is something that's very unique about this community. I mean, we go through growing pains like any community, any family would, but since I got in this shit, I've seen and witnessed and been a part of so much Hex and just free money being given a remote, and just to bring like kind of like that fraternal sorority type of vibe to the community and shit like that. And I've been seeing that in any other community where people to do things at their own expense, you know what I'm saying, for the betterment of the community and shit. That's unheard of.
Yeah. And when you got the right intention, he said not only willing, but they're asking for us. We had people from all these different cities who invited us. Even in Texas, CZ and JV Hex, held meetups at their home. They don't know us from a can of paint or these terms. You're a Hexcan, they know you're a part of something. I guess clients think alike. Great minds think alike. So this is crazy. Just the fact that in crypto, all these together, getting together and finding reason to hang out, and you look around, nobody else doing nothing like this. No coin.
Yeah, and it's not even close. And I'm a pretty fair, like as far as it goes to my emotions versus what's what I'm saying, like we can all get caught up in the sauce and shit like that. I'm not gonna front like I don't, but my better sense is always coming into play, like generally speaking and shit. And I have I'm a part of other communities like tangentially and shit, because there's coins that I had before I had Hex that I know hold value and shit. Their communities are not like this Hex community, and it's not like this fucking post-chain community. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like information and data that anybody can go see. Just go sniff around in Shiba Inu's community, XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, Ethereum. They don't have the fervor, the energy, like the willingness, like the enthusiasm that this community has. And the market and the bull market, it don't fucking matter. Like I said, we do have our growing pains and shit, like, people will feel different ways about what they think, like, this thing is and what it should be or whatever. But that's natural when you have a bunch of like, competing ideas who all care about one specific thing and shit.
That's the why I don't freeze me up. Testing. I think my Wi-Fi. Oh, there we go. I think my Wi-Fi had frozen for a second. Yeah, it's you can just tell. I think crypto is here for the long haul. I think all the coins will have some value. As an industry, I think our market cap is going to 5 or 6 trillion. But I think the thing that makes people get into Hex is they get excited about your future, and past past, looking forward to Pulse, but you make a 15-year stake, or if you're planning a staking ladder, that's just something to look forward to where you're just engaged. When you stake, it's hard to hold liquid hex. If you got liquid hex, you're always looking at, where can I stake this, or what, it's just looking and playing with those numbers on hex.com. It's just a totally different crypto. But yeah, like I got the mic. So yeah, if you guys got a chance, that last song, Lasagna Flow, came off that Anti-Black Crypto. You can find it on Telegram. Check it out, Anti-Broke Crypto. I put a lot of unreleased music on there that to give people a chance to have access to some stuff that's not totally only hex music. We kind of slowed down on the visuals while we've been building. I've been also doing the news with KSB.TV. You can check out the daily news over there. Just doing whatever I can to try to stay busy and keep putting out content, because the more eyes, it only takes one video, one song to get virality, and we take this thing to the moon. What fire you at? Am I still on the chat? Do I need to play a black song? What we got? We got a sneak peek. Can we play a black exclusive? Yeah, they gave me the rain, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. So definitely check that out. Definitely go to my YouTube page and BLAKC Crypto. I know you know who I am if you're watching this video, but I need to get to that 1,000 subscribers. If you got to make a couple more pages, and I ain't gonna say I told you to do it, but I wouldn't mind an extra subscriber or two. Trying to get to 1,000, we're right at 750, and run those streams up. I would love to get monetized and be able to do this full time. Internet good. What's the new one? Crypto.
Check. Yo, fuck. My bad, yo. My internet just completely shit itself. Like, I was literally sitting there talking, and I realized that my signal was absolutely gone.
So what happened? Was the stream going, or was what ended up going on? Is it still live?
Yeah, it looks like it's still live, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what happened on your end? Were you talking, or because I don't even know where the fuck,
Oh yeah, I just went for a while, and then I just, I figured somebody got disconnected, either you or me, so I kind of put the mic down. But
yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep my video off just in case, because it's definitely looks like my Wi-Fi definitely fucked up that one time. I don't want it to happen again. But I was actually talking about what I remember, what I would, as far as where we were going with it. I was just trying to make the connection that, like, you guys, in conjunction with KSB and everybody, Staker and Steph and those guys, you you guys have connected a lot of fucking people to crypto through Hex. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's no small feat. And to me, that's the type of, to me, that's progressive and shit, right? I think, like, as far as like how influencing has been, like during these where people just sit in front of their computers and talk to you about shit, you guys set the standard. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like everybody's, you know, especially once Hex becomes parabolic and shit. People are gonna look at the work that you guys done in particular with KSB, and that's gonna be standard and shit. You can no longer just sit in front of your motherfucking computer and talk to people about like what this shit is gonna be and you should get this and that or whatever. You got to go out and touch the people and shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a massive move, and this Million Posts tour as well. You know, you guys again, you've been through that one, and so you're still going, and you're gonna build on top of that. Like I feel like that's a massive move, you know, for the community in general, but like in crypto, for sure.
Yeah, that's what make it real to a lot of people. You know, they want to see that this crypto thing is real. You know, they don't want to see you. Anybody could fake it for a few seconds, but like you said, you can't fake driving around the country. You know, you can't fake a workshop. So, and to see, like you said, real people like me and my wife, and I mean, I think we're pretty normal. And you know, to see that, yeah, we, not to say we are, you know, 100% living off crypto gains, but it's given us the ability to have some decisions to make, you know, to have some options. And, you know, and that's with the price where it is, you know, that's where Hex is now, 2 years old, you know. So when you look at the future, that gets people excited to see that, to see a community of people who look so different. You know, one of the biggest things we hear is, you know, how do you guys know each other? You know, you see a group of Hexicans out in public, you know, it's just such a random group of people who look so different, you know.
Yeah, and come from different backgrounds as well, you know, socioeconomic, all of that. But
Mhm.
this, you know, I think in general, there's like a mind state that kind of permeates and kind of seamlessly through the Hex community. And that's like kind of like, you know, liberation and freedom and, you know, upwardly mobile as far as like your economic energy and how efficiently you deploy that shit or whatever. And not being like subject to this third party game anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck the middleman. We we don't do that. And just and then again, this is why I fell in love with the code because by nature, this is who I am. You know, anybody who's known me from fucking primary school till now will tell you like I'm not the type of motherfucker that's just gonna like go with the flow just because that's what it is and shit. You know, even in good times, is everybody at fucking 6 o'clock, I'm standing over there and talking shit because I want a different perspective. And for me, like Hex is all of that shit and a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? So,
Man, that's the biggest
um,
thing to me with Hex is, you know, it's the only crypto, like real crypto. Like you're actually doing something, like, you know, actually interacting with the code and seeing it pop up on the blockchain and, you know, staking and in staking, and only you can access your stakes. Like that's, you know, there is no middleman, even past the Coinbase and the exchanges. Like you are the bank, you know, like people need to experience that. I think that would get a lot of the FUD and a lot of the hate. You know, a lot of the people that say that they don't like Hex never used it. You know, anybody that uses it, you know, it's like magic.
yeah, you know, it's funny. So I was talking about when I first came into crypto, you know, actually, like not when I first came into crypto, but when I first came into the influencer, the whole thing on YouTube, which I didn't know exists for like my first, you know, couple of weeks in crypto, which seemed like forever. But I came across, you know, I mentioned Big Boy, but there's another influencer that I came across that I actually still listen to this day. Um, but about a week or so ago, on he do live streams or whatever, and somebody in the live stream asked him about Hex and Richard Harden, and he starts feeling like a scam, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever, and it just like you know made me harken back to when I first got into Hex, where nobody had anything good. I'm saying when I say nobody, I mean nobody. I didn't even know there was a Hex community when I made my first purchases and shit. I know all of this shit was going on. Nobody was saying anything good about this fucking product, yo. And I mean nobody.
Mhm.
So like if you even got into, if you had the balls to get into hex, you were a unique individual for one. Because this shit ain't for everybody, especially like if you deal with public sentiment and how people felt about hex. And even till now, people are still spewing the same shit. And case in point, there's one particular influencer and shit like that who 2+ years later he's still saying hex is a scam. So to me, that's laziness. He's just following fucking. He's not done any real research and shit. He's just following like 2-year-old fucking talking points and shit, and that's what he's telling his audience. So, in fact, doing a disservice to his audience because in this next bull cycle, if hex does like even a fraction what people are projecting it to be, like you got to answer to your audience why the fuck you've been telling us that this shit is a scam when it's like in the top 5 of fucking cryptos and everybody makes money hand over fist where he's staking or hodling this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when you look at the rest of crypto, it's already not a scam. It can't be. Like the fact that it's sideways is the best thing that can happen to a crypto, and to test the old all-time or the old lows. And when you look at all the other charts, they all just look the same. And even if X was to go down further, like even the half a penny talk that everybody keeps screaming for, saying it's going down to half a penny. Even if it did that, like it still would be semi-bullish. Like the scam, that everyone is screaming, the going to zero, the rug pull is what everyone, that isn't going to happen. I feel, the only thing that could kill the project is that OA address or one of those daughter addresses selling. And, as long as that doesn't happen, there's always going to be a market for people who want money that makes money. So it's a good game theory and it works.
And, and on the surface and shit, it's simple. You know what I'm saying? You invest money, you invest time. The longer time you invest, the bigger the money is, the bigger the reward. Simple. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very simple. Like coming from where we come from, we can relate to that like very easily. Even though there's a lot of moving parts and mechanisms inside of hex, which makes it like perfect because its simplicity is in the fact that if you do what you say, you're gonna reap the benefit above and beyond what you initiated as far as your principle. If you don't, you will get dealt with accordingly based on the code itself. Right?
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair system. You get what you promise. If you serve your term, and even the in stake penalties. When you emergency in stake, like. I mean, a lot of people, this may be like taboo, but I've emergency in staked a few times, and every emergency in stake is fair. It makes sure that all the hex that you created by, minting and reward stays in the system, serve that penalty, and it's a game. If you want to, take your principal back and give back that interest that you earned, and it's part of a decision you can make. That's why it's a option. So it's a brilliant design to where if you want to stay liquid and you want to play that game, you're getting diluted by the people who are willing to wait and willing to stake. And so
so to me, like the psychology of this shit is so wicked. I mean, again, I don't like the first stream that I did on crypto. I did with Yash Deep, who's a Hexagon as well. Go follow him.
No, Yash.
It was December of 2020. And like I actually named this shit the psychology of hex, but that was kind of like a misnomer because really I was saying the psychology of Richard Hart. And if anybody go back and check out that stream and shit, when we start talking about that aspect, I really get into like the nuts and bolts like of why I love the code and shit, and why I respect like the man, the thought process that came behind developing that code, because I'm all about universal law, and balance and equity and reciprocity and responsibility, right? Accountability and shit. And all of these things are apparent in natural law. And I see all of these things apparent in the code of hex and shit. So that's why to me it's naturally, it's organic, it's balanced, it's fair. You know what I'm saying? You get out of it what you put into it based on what the parameters are and shit. So what I'm saying is like if you fucking stake your hex for a year, you're gonna get 20% right off grip from doing that shit. Now, as long as you follow through that agreement, then you're gonna get all the gains associated with that, and then some variable gains that you can't necessarily calculate for, like people early ending staking, as you were saying, and things of that nature, or late ending staking for that matter. So,
Yeah,
to
but what
me,
you were
like,
promised, you definitely get that.
exactly 100%, 100%. Because going in, if you early end stake before your principal has been matured, then you gonna get smacked. You know what I'm saying, with like all kinds of fees. But we see people doing it all the time. And what I think is interesting is how, like, like some in the community like to polarize these type of events and shit, and like, hey, look at this idiot who early ended, they did this, that, or whatever. Fuck. I'm like, who cares? Is all they did was build my back, pack my bag more anyway, and this is what the code allows for, so it's all a game. You know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful part of that shit. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I love it. I mean, to me, I love the fact that people have the option, to play the, like, to me, the biggest issue was, am I going to be able to get the hex that I stake back? That's, I think a lot of people have that issue. I'm locking my coins up. Technically, you're burning them. So do I get my
Yep.
coins back? The fact that you're getting, free coins, like participating in the inflation, that's what makes Bitcoin valuable to me. Is, when I was looking at Bitcoin, I wanted to find out how to be a miner. I felt like that was the only true value in really being in Bitcoin, is being able to make those free coins and not
True.
even, realizing of that, what the idea behind inflation.
Yeah, definitely. But Hex is so gangster and shit, as we both know. But for the audience who may be new to this, crypto and specifically Hex and shit, Hex is inflationary, but only for the staker class. So all the inflation that is accrued only accrues inside of the staker class, and you only see that inflation once you actually um, realize the
Yeah.
maturity of your staking shit.
And
You
that's
know
the
what I'm
thing a
saying?
lot of people don't realize, is the deflated inflation. That's the key. When everyone says, well, if everyone's getting all of these free coins, then aren't they just gonna sell them? And that's what happened on Big Payday. Everyone got a bunch of coins at once. And yes, it can happen, but you got people that stake 15 years, people that stake 4 years, people that stake 8 years. It's so staggered to where at no one point are there gonna be, a ton of tokens coming out. And if there is, you can see it. It's all on chain. They got all these apps and charts to where you can see the token supply when people are, ending the stake. So it's just a different
All the
system. It's a
analytics are
game.
there.
Yeah. And another
Yeah.
thing I was thinking is, as these, the price of the coin is, dependent on, these liquidity pools and the amount that's available. And, as this liquidity that's on these dexes, as it becomes less and less over time, you think 7-8 years down the line, it may be a point to where there's just no hex available to buy, to where you're waiting on people to end stake, just so you can have some hit the market, and so what that can do to the price. So yeah, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
I would even, sorry to interrupt you, man. Like, I just want to add on to what you said by just putting this precursor. You basically said, like, 7 to 8 years or whatever. I'm saying probably it'll be like 2 years. Like, seriously, during this next bull run, Hex may be like dry at the faucet. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can find somebody willing to sell that shit, you ain't getting Hex. Already it's scarce based on like the whatever 500 billion, and some change that, is the max supply versus what's actually available in the market right now, which is, I haven't checked in, about a month or so, but it's probably like right around 100 million or something like that on Ethereum. Ethereum, my bad, 2.0. And, whatever the fuck. So that means there's not a lot of Hex out there. I mean, for those of you who may be foreign to crypto, 100 million may sound like a big number.
yeah, that's nothing.
That's like fucking less than peanuts, even within the Hex ecosystem and shit. Less than peanuts.
Man, when you
So,
say it like that, that's scary. Yeah.
I'm saying that again, Hex has not even reached like the general mass of crypto, let alone like the mom and pop, potato, steak eating, like, sofa surfing, like people who
Yeah.
don't even know about crypto and shit. I'm saying within the crypto ecosystem, people that are savvy either know about Hex and they don't want to acknowledge it, or most people just don't know about this shit at all. So once you get this, this confluence of events that all kind of like accumulate at this nucleus, it can't help but to be explosive. You know what I'm saying? Meaning,
Because
in a
yeah, I
very
mean, when you
short.
look at I'm
Go ahead.
sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I was
No,
just
no. I was
thinking
just gonna.
about, the way
Yeah.
people, shop for crypto and they learn about it. Like they just go to Coin Market Cap and they look at the list of the coins and they buy the one that's pumping the hardest, or, so just outperforming cycle after cycle, is just gonna, but I just think, it's just gonna outperform. Like even now in the bear market, Hex is the only coin that's active and doing anything on any of these chains. It's just keeps standing out as a better, option. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yo,
Moon.
and I can personally, even though Hex is down, like over 95% right now. Again, I came in September 2020, and I am still up, even though my number one fucking bank is down 95%. I'm still up like motherfucking five motherfucking figures. All right, five figures, and I'm not talking like 10 grand, five figures. You know what I'm saying? Like
I get
this
you.
is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So like we may be like out here like wearing the pom poms and talking all this shit or whatever, but we got the analytics and the facts to back this shit up. And I dare say anybody who came in like anytime before after big paydays, give or take fucking 4 to 6 months, you up in your fucking stakes. Period. There's no two ways about it. You know what I'm saying? I just happen to
And
be fortunate enough that I got all of my stakes, all of my first fucking, like stakes and shit. Like besides what I did after the sacrifices, all of that Hex was under a penny. I All of my Hex was under a penny, and at the time the T share was 97 cents, the price of a T share.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm looking at, and I, unlike a lot of people, I didn't take my big payday shit and just go liquidate that shit. I took that shit and I did 5 5 5 5, and I did staking letters like boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? That increased my T share value tremendously. So unlike a lot of people that got millions of fucking Hex right now, they don't got more T shares than me.
yeah, and that's what the argument I give a lot of people when they say, you could have bought it, you could have doubled the Hex now if you would have waited for the drop. But for one, the T-shirt price has skyrocketed since then. And when were you going to get all those coins to stake for that long to, get those T-shirts? The T-shirt is the coin. Hex is the coin is the T-shirt.
Yeah. That's like the golden egg and the golden goose of this whole shit that most people don't even know about. Because all they care about is like the hodl aspect of this shit, the promise aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When fucking moon. You know what I'm saying? That's what most of crypto fucking cares about. They don't
Yeah.
understand there's a more intricate like game via the code that's being played with this hex shit or whatever, and there's no fucking replica. You can't find another hex.
And
We've already seen like
you see
motherfuckers.
I see what Yeah,
No,
I
go
see
ahead,
it
go
with
ahead.
my own boards. About the people I on board. They're all the same story. They see the dollar signs. They want to know when moon, and they don't want to take over and learn the system. They just okay, I'll listen to you, and but you know to get their hands on this technology. Like I try to scream at people, use testnet. Why haven't you got on testnet right yet and practice providing liquidity with this free play money before it's a real thing? Like it's hard to get over that learning curve.
Yeah, but I mean, if you, I'm can only talk from experience, and when unlike your wifey and shit, like my wifey like supports whatever the fuck I do and shit, but she's just not interested in crypto right now. You know what I'm saying? And she hasn't been like per se like through this entire time. She will listen to me like spew like poetically about Hex and DeFi and crypto and post chain and da 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 and all this money and shit or whatever. But like she has seen me spend copious amounts of fucking hours, like PhD level research on this fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Because once I got into this shit and I realized like the significance and like the quality and all of that shit of what I was dealing with and the importance of actually engaging in the DeFi shit or whatever, I went full on. There was no stopping me. I was like up all kinds of middles of the night, summer, winter, everywhere in between. Like I was like a maniac with this shit. She was like worried
Facts.
about me. You know what I'm saying? And
Yo,
I'm like, yo, I'm good. Yo, I'm good. I'm just like I told him, like, yo, this is my new career. You know, because I'm a contractor over here. You know, I'm like into telecommunications or whatever. So I build networks, test them, design all that shit like that. And I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this shit, you know, for the rest of my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm way too intelligent for this shit. Like I got way too much hustle for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And once I finally started getting into crypto, and then when I Hex, it was an absolute wrap. Like my worldview changed, everything changed in that moment. Because for one, like immediately when you get into crypto, the first thing you realize is the gains. It's unlike any other asset class, stocks, bonds, oil, whatever the fuck, fiat currency.
oh, yeah, forget
It
about it.
cannot hold the water to crypto. You know what I'm saying?
Forget about it.
Yeah, yo. So you know, but this kind of segue into like this last topic and shit. But before we get into this topic, we're gonna talk about this. I want to play another one of your joints, but I want you to actually pick the joint this time. I'm just going from your list on, and for anybody who wants to check out like a thorough playlist from Black Crypto, head over to Anti Broke Crypto on Telegram. That's his channel where you can see hear nothing but like all day blockchain bangers all around Hex, Chain, and other ecosystem.
Man,
I
appreciate that.
implore you, if you into fucking hip hop, if you into crypto, you need to go get some of this shit. Food for thought for sure. But
Appreciate that, man.
before we get into this last topic, which is where the fork is my crypto, that's kind of dealing with all of the things that have happened since the Ethereum 2.0 merge and shit like that. We're gonna get into all that excitement. Um, give me a joint from that list that you have, which is massive. You probably got like what, like 30 joints on here, 25 joints on here, something on anti broke
Man,
crypto.
yeah, that's just
What
my
joint you want to
little.
hear right now?
Let me. Yeah, I just kind of did a MP3 dump into there. Oh, more crypto rap. Shout out to Trayvon. I wanted to just show some support. You know, I got the airdrop from him. You know, he was doing the comment on one of the posts, and you get the airdrop of the more token. And
Yeah, I
I'm
got
just rooting.
that.
I'm rooting for everybody black, man. I just it's nothing about I just want to see the token succeed. I learned so much. He's one of the big reasons I even got into Hex. You know, he did the video while I'm giving Richard Hort all my money, all my ETH. And I said, yeah, if you are that help, because I was watching all of his DeFi trade, and he was really hard into the DeFi scene too. So I really took what he was saying with a lot of caution. So more crypto raps. That's the one I like. Not the more crypto, but it's the actual. I think more crypto raps where I'm putting some bars on that one. I like that one.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to the OG. Shout out to the guy Trayvon. Yo, like I again, like you in this is, I mean, it kind of goes without shit, but like all black every day. You know what I'm saying? All black everything. And again, look, we love everybody. And again, this is not even really need to be discussion. Maybe for me because I'm not out in the community like OG Black Crypto and Wifey. What again? Like this is again. I apologize to Wifey for getting you guys confused and shit. What is your Wifey's handle as well? Because I don't want to be just like
Black
referring to Wifey.
Hexagon, and that's
People need to know where
hilarious.
to go.
Black Hexagon, and that's hilarious.
That happened
Go
on
ahead,
Corey
That
Costner.
happened on Corey Costner.
He called her Black Crypto.
He called her Black Crypto. So
It happens.
Yeah,
Man.
it
'cause-
happens, man.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, because I just see you guys as one anyway and shit. But like, I mean, there is like, you know, as far as social media is concerned, there are like indicators and shit. So, Wifey is Black Hexagon. She is like pivotal in all the KSB stuff. Guys have been doing couple stuff that I've seen on here. Like, you know, I've noticed lately you've been doing like crypto news and stuff like that. So you guys are putting in the work. I don't want to forget about like the goddess in this whole situation. Go check out Black Hexacan and everything she's doing, you know what I'm saying, as well as shit, because like she is all over the place. So like I don't want to leave that shit out.
Yeah,
we're trying to put the efforts into one. You know, we
put the efforts into
getting
one.
the
You know, we
KSP team,
I'm getting the KSP team, the KSP channel up over 1,000. So we did that, and now
I'm trying to get that with
the crypto. I'm trying to get that with 4,000.
No doubt. So we're gonna get into more black crypto rap. If you got head anyway, I don't know if he's still doing that, but definitely go check out Trayvon's social media spaces. Another black man in the game on this blockchain that's putting network and so we're gonna go into this and we're gonna come back and talk about this last subject. How back.
Black KC, crypto, home IO. Know I shine bright, I turn your light show. Don't look at them twice, I turn your wifey to a sideshow. Make a head nod, then bob like sideshow. Real talk, nigga, no joker. Like a high-low, tell how it is, but I can't tell how it's gon' go. Talk a lot of shit, but I ain't talking to the 5-0. Just everything a nigga did was for survival. Them niggas talking down on me on arrival. I ain't really tripping cause ain't none of them my rival. Got a lot of dollars, got more money than my idols. Got a lot of crypto, had to put it in my tool. He ain't wanna come and ride the wave like a title. 150 IQ, or what the fuck do I know? Saw him sipping Henny, musta thought he was a wino. He ain't know he known to close a deal like Mariano. He got the keys like I'm Khaled on piano. And I got like I'm Russell, no D'Angelo. Started small, now I ball like Leangelo. And I stay consistent with them hits like I'm DiMaggio.
Yeah. I was really trying to find some music to try to
find some music to try.
Get outside of the got nothing going on there. Testing, you got me?
Yeah, good, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to
try to
get outside the community a little bit.
Try to get outside the community a little bit.
A lot of music.
I was starting to promote a lot of music outside of Twitter and
get a lot of feedback.
Start to get a lot of feedback
Like they were getting
as far as people feeling like they were getting spammed. So
being able to still promote the music,
and still try to get Hex out to
the echo chamber.
people outside the echo chamber.
Yeah, no, you definitely own it like hardcore, yo. I love like like it's funny when I see Bitcoin like or whoever representing Bitcoin give money, man, like $1 million fucking worth of Bitcoin like to make crypto rap and shit, and like this dude really don't know about DeFi, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I hear like yo shit, which is the same genre essentially, and like the quality, I mean, like Money Man is dope. Like, don't get it twisted, beats, lyrics, everything and shit. But, and again, there's a certain, I'm not even disrespecting that because there's a certain level of heads that, will get into crypto on that Money Man level. And then they're going to find like a black crypto and shit. You know what I'm saying? When they're really ready to really take it to the next level. But I feel like your shit is on that level, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, all like no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that you're just growing organically and shit or whatever that, to me, that's the way you do that shit for sure.
Man, that's love.
I think it's only to a point to where
Hex is gonna
Hex
running
running the game to where
everybody who got any eyes on crypto,
is gonna be looking at Hex. What we doing in this community?
Anybody that's
making noise on Hex is gonna be really popular in this bull run. Like everybody's.
They want to know how did I miss this?
They want to know how did I miss this? I'm not gonna listen. Let me listen to these guys. Apparently, they know something I don't know.
Yeah, definitely 100%. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what up, Crypto Native in the house? I didn't even see you over there, God. Nate tuning in and shit. Again, like it's so funny because
Follow on Twitter, man.
yeah, yo, like Nate's the OG in this shit, yo. Like, I'll never forget. I know Nate won't mind me telling this story. Check him out on Twitter at NateJ101. But so yeah, like shortly after I found Hex, and then I found like the influencer community through the Discord syndicate and shit. This was right. So yeah, this would have been like right coming up on Big Payday because the Big Payday was in November. I came in September. So like from the time that I was in Hex and got all my stakes in, Big Payday came, and again, like I say, people were throwing around Hex like that shit was like fucking toilet paper, yo. It was crazy how people were just giving away Hex, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like Hex was, just had reached a penny and shit.
Yeah.
And then the Big Payday dump or whatever the fuck. But I was on the stream with the Discord syndicate, like they had this big giveaway, and they ended up being one of the motherfuckers that won. Like I won't even say how much Hex it was and shit, but it was no fucking small number. You know what I'm saying? And
I know the number.
like to think about that shit now and realize like Hex going up to its all-time high, which that's gonna be like a small fraction of what we'll see like over the next bull cycle and shit. I'm like, yo, this community is fucking beautiful and shit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the OG. I'll call him like the Minister of Information and shit. Because if you ever go to Nate's Twitter and just go through like some of his tweets, yo, you're going to be informed. Like you may agree or disagree with some of the things that are posted and shit, but you will be inspired in one way or the other. Shout out,
game.
Straight game.
For sure. Definitely, but yo, so we spoke about a few things, your crypto origins, how wifey came in like with the goddess vibe and shit. It was like, yo, this is the one. You know what I'm saying? Like some real fucking like Matrix type shit, yo. Like we talked about, how you've been using this music and like your poetic ability and shit, like to brew up this potion like and create like multi-layered like avenues in order to bring this message to the people. You know what I'm saying? We talked about like Hex and post chain and how you guys found that, and you've been an integral part of like the education and onboarding process, probably the most like significant part, really. I could probably say definitely, because again, like not only is nobody in crypto doing what you guys have done in the first tour, what you're doing with this Million Poets tour, nobody in Hex has done that shit. Not even like attempted it. You know what I'm saying? So like all respect for you guys being a part of that and an integral part of that shit. But now I want to talk about something that me and actually Crypto Nate and shout out to the gods over at Crypto and Down, Asher L and NFT Jams. Shout out to my young prodigy, Cosmic Kid. We all talk about this shit behind the scenes like all the time and shit, amongst us or whatever. But I've been hearing a lot of scuttlebutt about, these new forks of Ethereum 2.0. And like, we've got like copies of all of our ERC20s on these chains, including stakes and, liquid coins and all this shit like that. What do you think about all of this new development and innovation like that's happened recently over the past 2 weeks with regards to the Ethereum fork and the two main forks, ETHW or ETHPOW and Ethereum Fair? What do you think about? My first question is, what do you think about like that? As far as like, you think progressive, or you think like, you're indifferent, or you got maybe a disagreeable like disposition on that? And what do you think about some of the people who are saying that like the Hex on these other chains is not like real Hex and yada yada yada? Go ahead.
Personally, I'm positive. I love it. I think it's net positive.
Free money is always good.
Free money is always good to me.
Everybody will be upset about that.
Everybody will be upset about that.
But not wanting
I can see people not wanting you to take
capital,
out of this ecosystem, another chain or gamble in something that's secure.
That's
that's bad, but
me, it's just a
practice for both.
You get a test.
You get a test,
preview of what's
to come with this new thing. So
free money, you get a chance
you get a chance to bridge
a chance to get
the rest of the material, all these points and all these other networks to get
Forex and
operating with copy. So
it's positive to me.
It's positive to me.
Proof of work. Really excited about that.
I'm excited about that. I'm not sure. It's kind of snuck up on me as far as the development happening kind of quick. I don't know if it's a cash grab. I'm willing to sit, wait, and watch what happens.
Use that hex too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty much in the same boat, except for I've been pretty active on both chains and shit. But if I saw an interview by KG, shout out KG, and in fact, like I thought I was actually going to be the first one to debut your music on like a stream or a podcast or whatever. But KG beat me to it, yo. So I got to give big ups to KG. Shout him out whenever you can. I was watching one of his streams the other day, and he was basically had your joints like prevalent like throughout the clips and shit. This is just last week.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah. So I was, and KG is internet money. Shout out to Don Montoya as well. You know what I'm saying? These are people's. I came across these guys through my boys, the family over at Crypto and Down or whatever. And this is how the Hex community is, yo. This is how we do, yo. We build, like if y'all hadn't noticed or whatever. But so KG, like basically, like he's done like quite a few like tutorials on ETHW and ETH Fair and shit like that or whatever. But like one of the main developers from ETH Fair on just within the last like 36 hours. And so he stressed him, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't like just throwing like snowflake fucking questions and shit like that. He stressed them out and shit. And apparently, if this is true, like these guys have been in the works since like they actually, Vitalik actually said about 5 years ago that they were gonna do this 2.0 thing or whatever. So if that is true, ETH Fair has actually been like in development way longer than any of the, of the ETH forks and shit or whatever. So that remains to be seen. But regardless of that fact, EW is like the front runner right now. They're in the pole position.
I'm excited.
I'm excited because you get a chance to see the activity of all these people. Like people who have Hex. What are they do with their copies?
What's the
excitement on other corners of the network? Or any other communities that are going to be active on Forex.
Yeah, and what's exciting to me that on both of those networks, ETHW and ETH Fair, the top trading pairs, Hex, Hedron, Lycosa. I've even saw PZN that was in the top 10 trading for a while. You know what I'm saying? But the Hex ecosystem is strong on both of these fucking brand new ecosystems from day one. You know what I'm saying? So that gives me, and again, I've done my part. I went over there. Not only have I, so look, let's get into like the bare nuts and bullshit of shit. Like there's a couple of things going on right now. Some certain people in the community are saying like this is fake Hex on these other chains and all that shit like that. Now, again, I'm logical.
Real money getting bridged in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the code is the code. So it's not like they've counterfeited a fucking code, because we all know you can't do that with Hex. Many people have tried already. So the code is the code. Dispel that myth like right off grip. That shit ever goes, that code is gonna remain the fucking same. Now, once you check that box off, now only thing you're really trying to determine, what is the quality of this fucking network? You know what I'm saying? Is this some shit that is going to be substantial? Is it a scam? All the things we fucking go through when we go through the DYOR process. For those who don't know, do your own fucking research. All right?
Research.
So understanding that the code is the fucking same, and I have $100 fucking in my hand. I've done the fucking diligence of DYOR or whatever. I've ascertained that this is the network that's quality, is usable, and I'm not afraid of getting fucking ripped off, right? Once I do that, I got $100. I'm either gonna go to Ethereum 2.0 and pay 3 cents for $100 worth of Hex, or am I gonna go to ETH and paid like last time I checked 0.001 cents of for a fucking hex, or am I gonna go to ETH and pay 0.008 cents percent of a penny for a motherfucking hex? You know what I'm saying? Which one am I gonna do? The code is the same. All three, and in fact, like ETH and ETH Fair are closer to the original fucking code than fucking this Ethereum 2.0. If we're being, honest and reasonable about this, because it's the same fucking proof of work fucking code that they've been using already, right?
Jeez.
So,
Jeez.
and on top of that, both of these chains are markedly cheaper per transaction, like by 1,000 times than fucking what Ethereum is right now. And this is the lowest transactions in over a year in Ethereum and shit. So all of this going on, you got true development going on both of these chains, and you got free fucking money sitting over there. Even if you never bring one single red cent into ETH Fair or ETHPOW, you got your stakes there, and ERC20 coin that you have liquid in your wallet is sitting there waiting for you.
That's the only
drawback
or putting new capital in.
Is there are a lot of people with a lot of free money
where
price is to expect value. So
but like you said,
like you said, that
it's the money printer.
It's the money printer. It's the same code. So missed out on the T-share rate on one thing, and going to you're right.
But something said, like, I think is like really the most significant of anything either of us has said is like, this is the chance to test out post-chain before the shit actually launches. That shit is the most significant of all of this shit, and you have no fucking liability. I'm gonna give everybody a real-time example. On both ETHW and ETH Fair, I've gone in through the Hedron Icosa protocol and Hex protocol. They have like a fucking website. Is the protocol is an interface between the three, and it's like available on ETHW and on Ethereum Fair. I've been waiting. I minted all of my Hedron like in the very beginning, but I haven't. That's all I've done on Ethereum before, after the 2.0 merge and shit. But since these new forks have come along, and it's basically
strategies,
less than a penny. You know what I'm saying? I got over fucking 30 goddamn stakes. It's less than a fucking penny to not just mint them, but to claim all of them shits on both chains. How much would that shit cost me on Ethereum right now after the merge? Over 30 fucking
at least
stakes.
At least $100. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And this shit costs less than a penny on both of these chains, which will be the same as post chain. Okay, that's number one. So what I did, I went and claimed all of my motherfucking Hedron on both of those fucking networks. Then I did a couple different things. I made some HSI stakes, but majority what I did is swap that shit for Hex. All right. So the liquid Hex that I had in my wallet when they forked the each individual chain, I've added to that shit based on me making liquid my Hedron and using some of that to increase my bags, and not only Hex but the ETHW and the ETH Fair on the exterior on each individual chain as well. All of that I did for free. It didn't cost me anything. I have no liability. Whatever happens and shit, my shit is safe because I don't put nothing into it.
And it, like you said, it's free money.
Like you said, it's free money.
Even if you didn't,
end of the day, worst case scenario, you got free money. You have the choice to interact with or not.
Where else can you get that?
Where else can you get that?
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm not dissing anybody who really doesn't want to interface with this right now. I'm just saying, like, those people who are just like, absolutely, the code is fake, it's not real Hex. I'm like, well, you motherfuckers are crazy. If it's not real Hex, why can't I do what I want to do and send it over to Ethereum 2.0 if I really wanted to, and send the Hex from Ethereum 2.0 over to this motherfucker? Again, like, there is a lot of game theory here if you're willing to embrace this DeFi. What I find interesting, and this is just my own personal observation, people embrace Hex. Everybody in the Hex community embraces Hex, but I feel like people forget that Hex is a DeFi. It is the purest DeFi fucking product. Like, number two will be Flare. the Flare coin Spark, as far as I'm concerned. But Hex is the purest DeFi fucking product that's ever been fucking designed and shit. But I think people forget that because they're just caught up with the whole storyline of Hex and Richard Hart or whatever the fuck. But Hex is a DeFi fucking token, and it has not been used as such, like beyond like the staking mechanism until um Hedron came along, until Icosa came along, and all these other different derivatives, Maxi, and all these other things to, lesser extent or different extent, liquid loans with regards to posts and shit. Nobody was extracting the DeFi value and the potential out of fucking Hex. You know what I'm saying? And so all of these people, you got everybody saying all these type of things or whatever. But what I'm saying is Hex is a purely DeFi token. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's the number one DeFi token, but it has layers to it. We need to be able to extract all the DeFi functionality from that without actually taking away from the purity of the code. And Alex from Hedron has shown you how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, go ahead, yo.
No, I was gonna say
No,
shouts out to
I
Alex.
was gonna say shouts out to Alex for having that app where you mentioned
all three chains
on his app, already.
Something else, a community.
Something else, a community.
That hour.
Harder that hour.
Who created?
There's just somebody who created something that
you can one stop shop. You can do everything on there.
One stop shop. You can.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I just mentioned earlier on, like the cheapest I paid for Hex, well, I don't know if I mentioned this specifically, but right after Big Payday, I think I paid like 0.003 for Hex. Apparently, Crypto Nate told me it went down to 0.001 during that same period. Well, what I'm saying right now is that on both of these blockchains, Hex is way cheaper than 98% of the motherfuckers who say they're Hexagons right now have ever seen it. I would imagine. All right. So you are going to like just sit there on the sideline and possibly miss out on life changing motherfucking gains and shit. Because even within these two communities, so okay, boom, ETH Hex started, I think, at like 0.00004 or something like that, right? Give or take. Right now on ETH it's 0.001. So this shit is already 100x, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's like 180x or some crazy shit like that. Like just from the time this bit is launched or whatever the fuck on this other blockchain. So you could have got in there on day one and got Hex for fucking almost day one, day two prices and shit. And people are just sitting on the sideline, but that's all good. But I'm reaching out to the people that got the hustler mentality and understand how to do the research and scope it out from all the angles and shit like that before you make a move. These are the people that I'm interested in reaching out to.
Yeah.
I was
teasing my wife because she was as soon as she was on deck, she was on every swap, and not to say that she was aping in, but she was not to want to miss out. You don't want to sit on the sidelines and just see what's going on at least. You want to be safe and you want to be diligent. You definitely got to be in the game.
Yeah, 100%. You got to be in it to win it. And again, like it's in crypto, this one thing I will agree with. And even in the short time that I've been in here, I've made moves and shit. I haven't won every single time, but I'm way up, you know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to like the bonehead mistakes that I made. That's a lot due to the community that I kind of fell into with regards to Hex and extension of, with regards to post chain. But, yo, you're going to make mistakes, yo. Like, don't be afraid, like, making mistakes with regards to losing, like, this or that or whatever the fuck. Just be afraid of doing that shit over again.
Yeah, I'll make the same.
Make the same mistake.
Yeah, like if you duplicated the same mistakes, then you probably shouldn't be in this game because you're gonna lose your motherfucking pants real quick. But I think that everybody has made like mistakes that's cost them money and shit. But the good thing about crypto, you can make that shit up. It's all about investing in sound fucking projects and shit. We don't believe in promises in our community. Like if you say you got some shit, whenever that shit bounce, whenever you put a curtain back, it better be ready to go. Otherwise, you're going to be scrutinized accordingly, and you're probably not going to do too well within this type of community and shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
That's what
That's what
thing
you know.
about Hicks.
Thing about Hicks that
Being able to lock your money up.
able to lock your money up.
That
That makes save most people.
you know, you see the
You see the volatility. It's so easy to say,
I'm out.
I'm out, or
I lost,
I lost, or want to do something.
But you got
But
something.
you got something like Hicks.
You're not thinking about it.
And when you do come back, you're like, oh, I'm good.
I got people.
I got people who are on board.
My
My aunt, she got in at like 6 cents,
but
it's not at 6 cents.
You know, she
all the time. I've seen the growth, and
this is the
this is
worst.
the worst when we start to go again. You can see
long term
benefit.
Yeah, definitely. So what you're saying ultimately is Hex is good for your mental health, especially your blockchain mental health and shit. But we know that shit extends to real life and shit. Because I can honestly tell you, I've actually been rooting, like if I'm being honest and shit, for this price to keep dipping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm, selfishly, I want to get these prices again and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that I saw in the very beginning. And a lot of people didn't even see the prices that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? So clearly, people who are getting in right now at these prices, you better consider yourself fucking lucky. Okay? Because you get, like, I'm gonna put it on record right now. You're gonna get at least 1,000x gains out of your principal over this next bull run from investing in Hex and staking that shit. At least 1,000x gain. I'm putting that shit on wax right now. So, like, when I'm seeing these prices, because I know it's a bull market, I'm like, whatever the fuck, let it do what I don't give a fuck, whatever go down to, I'm just gonna keep buying and be happier as it goes down because I know what the fucking boomerang effect is going to be. And that's just gonna be crazy and wild as soon as he announces like something firm about this post chain. You're going to see whatever the fuck into the bear market, you're gonna see the decoupling in real time because Hex is gonna go crazy, regardless of what everything else is doing. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
I think
it's
really
on
a waiting mission for Paul. I think that's holding the price down the head.
Has anything to do with
Bitcoin or being Bitcoin or market. I think everybody waiting on that snapshot.
Yeah, definitely. So there's accumulation that we don't see, like, apparent that's there that will be fucking, bananas as soon as Richard makes that fucking move and shit and says those fucking
especially when you think about how fast it's moving.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, it's just gonna be crazy. I'm like I said, I'm happy. I'm appreciative of universe like guiding me to this type of experience. And again, I'm not like, of course, the material shit is relative because we live in a material world. We mostly exist through our five senses and shit. Most of us, and to most of us, that's like the realest part of us. But I'm not most of us and shit. And I understand that this shit is bigger than the material. That's why I appreciate this community as well, because the people that we kind of vibe with and kind of resonate to Hex and shit is kind of, everybody like don't mind showing off what Hex has done for them, but people are way bigger than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's very unique in the community and shit. So shout out to all my Hexicans, all my Posticans, and all of the protocols and shit that are building honestly on top of post chain and shit. Like, whatever it is. As long as you're building honestly and you're not trying to take away from the people, then you got a place in the community. But if you come with that bullshit and you fucking trying to play like, little like 3-car Monties and shit like that, then you're gonna get called out and your skirt's gonna be pulled, so
that's what I tell people that it's a lot of shilling of Hex goes on, but we shield Hex is more of you're trying to save people and they might not know about. It's not so much my back. I work out of this. It's more from a helpful place. And
Hex is the only place
where no matter where you are, part of the top,
you wrecked.
But,
exactly.
Hex City 5%.
Yeah, and even if you bought at the fucking top in Hex, and if you had your shit staked, you got a different feeling than motherfuckers that's just sitting on this shit, like, waiting for the promise of Hex to, go to his next all-time high and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been earning money this entire time. Every day you wake up, you're more richer than you were before because you stake your fucking Hex. So if anything, if you are one of these people, and again, I got liquid Hex in my bag and shit, for sure, but like that doesn't even compare to what I have staked and shit. And that was only for the game theory of the fork, right? But if you're one of those people that are just sitting on your liquid Hex and you bought like anywhere close to the top, you probably disgruntled. You probably don't like Richard Hart right now.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying? But if you would have been staking your shit, then at least like a fraction of it, then you would be like a little bit at ease. Because I'm telling you, I've not felt like any kind of like nothing about the price of Hex, like up or down, like at all since I did my stakes like fucking 2 years ago. Because I'm like, yo, I know what it is and shit. At the end of the day, I'm in this shit for the long term. Now, 5 years down the road, if Hex is like a fucking penny, all right. I may be like a bit concerned and shit, but right now I'm good. I'm just in collection mode and shit. Hopefully, like all you people are as well, because it's an opportunity that I'm telling you. Again, like we not motherfucking, we don't got on suit and ties and all this shit. We don't got no motherfucking letters behind our motherfucking name. So clearly we know fucking financial advisors. But from a perspective of individuals who's been in the motherfucking game, 1 year from now, if you're into crypto and you know about Hex and you did not get this shit, even if you're holding it, you will be crying. I promise you. You're gonna be crying
Wrapping it up.
for sure if you don't get in on this shit right now. So yeah, yo, that's what it is though. So clearly we fucking we got on pump pumps for Hex and the whole ecosystem post chain and all that shit like that. But beyond that, I'm like, all about like the truth and like the reality of it all and shit like that. I haven't been in the game long as far as crypto, but I've done like research that makes me, I feel like, um, a veteran, if not a wily veteran in this shit or whatever the fuck. But um, even since I've been in Hexio, I just haven't found anything that really compares to what the power and the potential of this jewel in the rough, because nobody really knows about it or whatever. But you know, we'll keep having these like dialogues and shit for sure. Like, and just being creative about how we bring this shit to the people, and especially like the community, like these streets and shit. Like the people that I feel like could benefit from this shit like tremendously, based on like the history of the country that we both grew up in and shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you having me on.
Having
a dialogue, who actually
had some experience
has some experience in this game. I don't feel we have some stories, so
I learned a lot.
I learned a lot just to talk.
I do want
to chop it up with you.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. I mean, we're definitely gonna get together, like on some music shit as well, like for sure. That's guaranteed. I know you're a Hennessy man already. My wifey, like she actually, dude, this is some funny shit. I'm from America. I grew up there. Like I didn't come over here to like '06. I didn't really drink until I got over here. So I was, even though I knew about the Hennessy and all the stuff like that, I wasn't drinking like that. My wife introduced me to Hennessy. As far as like actually taking a sip of that shit, it was my wife who introduced me to that shit. So that's something we definitely got in common. Wifey let me know that or whatever the fuck. But bro, we're gonna get together, man. Like for sure. Like beyond, whatever we talked about today. Like I think that it's important for people that look like us and come from the same experiences as us see us making it without fucking selling out anything at all and giving up anything except for time. You know what I'm saying? that's it. Like, people need to understand that this is the way. And I would say this one thing, and I say this often and shit. Like, to me, this blockchain shit is the final frontier, and specifically this DeFi shit. Because, you know, we talked about all like the bubbly, lovey-dovey stuff and all this stuff today, the gains and the community and all this shit like that. But there's a much bigger monster that's lurking in the midst for all of us and shit. I don't give a fuck how much money you got and how much money you made in this crypto shit. There's a much bigger game that's being played and shit. So I want my people to be fortified. I want my people to get in these DeFi spaces and start to accumulate and look up with like minds and people that, you know, have like a clear vision and an honest vision of what the future should be and shit like that. That's why I really appreciate this Hex community, and that's why I appreciate DeFi or whatever. So, you know, it's all like love, like building with you, and especially, you know, we're doing the same thing, and you know, like, people need to see this. Motherfuckers need to know that this shit is happening. You know, because a lot of people don't, especially coming from where we come from.
But
So, we're gonna keep this shit moving, bro. But I just want to thank you again for bringing bread and shit, you know, and definitely shout out to everything you and your wifey has been doing as far as getting this word out to the broader crypto community, and especially to, like, you know, like the people that look and come from the same places that we come from. You know what I'm saying? That's like a big fucking that's a big deal as far as I'm concerned. Bigger deal than most anything that I've spoken about today. Because that's why I'm doing this shit. That's the only reason why I'm doing this shit.
yeah, that's the mission, man. It's
Yeah, that's the mission, man. It's to get more people like us to get in while it's still early, and have a chance to
make an impact.
make an impact, you know, and make a difference around the community and around with the people around them. You know,
Attainable.
still attainable. Because I think it's gonna get to a point where
Only
the you lucky to have any.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all that sentiment. So, with that said, I'm gonna go out with one more of your tracks again. Go check out my man Black Crypto. Go check out the wifey Black Hexakin. Go check out KSB TV. Go check out the Million Post Tour. Go check out anything and everything Richard Hart and Hex. You know what I'm saying? And come be a part of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Go check out these tunes for sure. Anti-Bro Crypto on Telegram. Also, you can also check out Black Crypto on YouTube. Am I missing anything, God?
Yeah, you covered all of it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, you covered all of it. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
All right, that's what's up. So with that said, yo, you know we're gonna keep it going in the background anyway. But I'm gonna play one more of your tracks that I like to bump in the morning before I head out on my grind and shit. This joint is The Takeover. If y'all liking what I'm about to play for you, again, go check it on Anti-Bro Crypto, and also go check out my man on Black on all your social medias. This has been Block Live. I am your most humble host, Sun Cypher, and we've been vibing with the God Black Crypto. Shout out to everybody who loves what we're doing, and definitely show that support. The Takeover.
Cash, coin, currency, we running this crypto. Black AC, we running this crypto. HEX, we running this crypto. Post chain, we running this crypto. Richard Hart, we running this crypto. Hater, shut your mouth and keep your lips closed. Take over, sacrifice over. Game twice over, now we about to cross over. Bitcoin and all your foot soldiers. Boys to the back of the line, your heads in the fakes over. That move ain't nothing but a pump fake. Used to dominate the outs, now you the whole market dead weight. Michael Saylor, get your head straight. Head straight to Hex Con, since you got the people led astray. We shoot shots, we gon' let them spray. How many times they killed you in the shade? Let me illustrate. Them raking sites supposed to kill you. But the way it killed Hex in the shade, pure hate. Hex top tier, but on the front page. They putting on the front, don't wanna let us engage. They gon' let the people find out a year late. Kinda scamming that's gon' have the people enraged. HEX, we running this crypto. Post chain, we running this crypto. Richard Hart, we running this crypto. Haters, shut your mouth and keep your lips closed. Hex, we running this crypto. Post chain, we running this crypto. Rich at heart, we running this crypto. Haters, shut your mouth and keep your lips closed. I know you recognize the lane. Promise the sun and the moon are coming soon just to get to your change. Use your brain. You know them deals get ghosts when you operate ghost chain. EOS took the money and put it into the comp. Had a spark when you started, but now you just go. Chain link top 10, now not at all. Saw you running it up with band, now I'm just watching them fall. 8 of private contracts don't got them at all. And XRP got the worst fundamentals of them all. Promising banks, but you know they don't wanna get involved. Offering solutions to problems you don't know how to solve. ETH 2.0, they done bit the whole style up. Tax for transactions, they done let pile up. So crypto gang fouled up. If you're smart, put your money with heart and let it pile up. HEX, we running this crypto. Post chain, we running this crypto. Rich your heart, we running this crypto. Hey, shut your mouth and keep your lips closed. Hex, we running this crypto. Post chain, we running this crypto. Rich your heart, we running this crypto. Hey, shut your mouth and keep your lips closed. With that.
Yeah, and we are out once again. Shout out to all the people. Shout out to Black KC. Shout out to the Black Hexagon. Shout out to the fucking Hex community.